Welcome back, my friends, to Big Bill Anderson's Death Tours. I'm here at the Pioneer Cemetery in Prescott, Arizona, July 1st, 2019. It's absolutely a beautiful day here. Here to pay my respects to this lady, Big Nose Kate, the companion for Doc Holliday. And in the old tombstone days of the late 1880s or early 1880s, she was part of that history, the OK Corral. She was with Doc Holliday, Wyatt Earp during that time. So, it's been a few years since I came here to Prescott and spent any time and visiting some graves, some haunted hotels, some movie locations, and some other fine spots here in this beautiful town just about 2 hours north of Phoenix. And right now I'm here, Big Nose Kate. I know that's a horrible slang name. Her name was Mary Catherine Cummings, and she made her living the real old-fashioned way in the Old West. She was from Hungary, and she came to the United States and became a prostitute. But more important, she was a companion of legendary figure in Old West history, Doc Holliday, for a number of years, in Tombstone and in Cochise, Arizona, various spots she lived, but she ended up here in Prescott, where she died just a few days short of her 90th birthday. So she lived a very long life. 1850 to 1940 is what it says here. So I'm going to tell you a little bit more about Miss Cummings, or Big Nose Kate, if you will. And before I even turned this camera on, I stood here for a few minutes and spoke to Kate. Told her how she was appreciated as part of Old West history. I asked her to speak to me. I did not hear an audible response, but I let her know she was being thought of. Her grave is very well taken care of here. There's a sign out there that actually points you in the direction right off the little street in the cemetery here to where Big Nose Kate is buried. And I think it's really cool that she is being honored here in death. So, my friends, stay tuned for some narrative on the life and times of Big Nose Kate here in Prescott, Arizona. Thank you, my friends. Mary Catherine Haroni was born on November 9th, 1849 in Hungary. In 1860, Mary's family left Hungary for the United States, arriving in New York City on the German ship Brennan in December of 1860. The Haroni family settled in a predominantly German area of Davenport, Iowa in 1862. Mary's parents died only 3 years later, in 1865, and within 1 month of one another. Mary Catherine and her younger siblings were placed in the home of her brother-in-law. At age 16, Mary ran away from her foster home and stowed away on a riverboat bound for St. Louis, Missouri. In 1869, she is recorded as working as a prostitute in St. Louis. In 1874, Kate was fined for working as a sporting woman or prostitute in a sporting house or brothel in Dodge City, Kansas, run by Nellie Bessie Ketchum Earp, James Earp's wife. In 1876, Kate moved to Fort Griffin, Texas, where in 1877 she met Doc Holliday. The couple went with Earp to Dodge City and registered as Mr. and Mrs. J. H. Holliday at Deacon Cox's boarding house. Doc opened a dental practice by day, but spent most of his time gambling and drinking. The two fought regularly and sometimes quite violently. According to Kate, the couple later married in Valdosta, Georgia. They traveled to Trinidad, Colorado, and then to Las Vegas, New Mexico, where they lived for about 2 years. Holliday worked as a dentist by day and ran a saloon on Center Street by night. Kate also occasionally worked as a dance hall girl in Santa Fe, New Mexico. By her account, Doc and Kate met up again with Wyatt Earp and his brothers on the way to Arizona Territory. Virgil Earp had already been in Prescott and persuaded his brothers to move to Tombstone. Holliday was making money at the gambling tables in Prescott, while Kate was working as a prostitute in the upstairs rooms at the Palace Saloon. He and Kate parted ways when Kate left for Globe, Arizona, but she rejoined Holliday soon after he arrived in Tombstone. Holliday, like his friend Wyatt Earp, was always looking for an opportunity to make money and joined the Earps in Tombstone during the fall of 1880. According to Kate, she was with Holliday in Tucson, Arizona, when on October 20th, 1881, Morgan Earp rode to Tucson to request Holliday's assistance with dealing with Cochise County cowboys who had threatened to kill the Earps. She wrote that Holliday asked her to remain in Tucson for her safety, but she refused and traveled with Holliday and Earp. Kate and Holliday stayed at C.S. Fly's boarding house, which bordered the alley where the gunfight at the OK Corral took place on October 26, 1881, in Tombstone. After Doc Holliday died in 1887, Kate married Irish blacksmith George Cummings in Aspen, Colorado on March 2nd, 1890. After working several mining camps throughout Colorado, they moved to Bisbee, Arizona, where she briefly ran a bakery. After returning to Wilcox in Cochise County, Cummings became an abusive alcoholic and they separated. In 1900, Kate moved to Cochise, Arizona and worked at the Cochise Hotel that I showed you in one of my earlier videos. Her husband, Cummings, committed suicide in Cortland, Arizona in 1915. Kate is listed in the 1910 U.S. Census in Cochise, Arizona as a member of the home of miner John J. Howard. When Howard died in 1930, Kate was the executrix of his estate. She contacted his only daughter who lived in Tempe, Arizona, and they settled the inheritance. In 1931, the 80-year-old Kate contacted her longtime friend, Arizona Governor George Hunt, and applied for admittance to the Arizona Pioneers' home in Prescott, Arizona. The home had been established in 1910 by the state of Arizona for destitute and alien miners and male pioneers of the Arizona Territory. It took Kate 6 months to be admitted, since the home had a requirement that residents must be American citizens. She was admitted as one of the first female residents of the home. She lived there and became an outspoken resident, assisting other residents with living comforts. Kate wrote many letters to the Arizona State Legislature, often contacting the governor when she was not satisfied with their response. Near the end of her life, several reporters tried to record Kate's life story, her relationship with Doc Holliday, and her time in Tombstone. Kate died on November 2nd, 1940, 7 days before her 90th birthday, of acute myocardial insufficiency, a condition she started showing symptoms of the day before she died. Her death certificate states that she also suffered from coronary artery disease and advanced articular sclerosis. Kate was buried on November 6, 1940, under the name Mary K. Cummings here at the Arizona Pioneer Home Cemetery in Prescott, Arizona. Big Nose Kate was depicted by Joe Van Fleet in Gunfight at the OK Corral, a 1957 film, by Faye Dunaway in Frank Perry's film Doc in 1971, and by Joanna Pacula in Tombstone, 1993 film, and by Isabella Rossellini in Wyatt Earp, 1994 film. Carol Montgomery Stone played Big Nose Kate, usually referred to as Kate Holiday, in 10 episodes in the 1957 and 58 season of the ABC Desilu Western television series The Life and Legend of Wyatt Earp, with Hugh O'Brien as Wyatt Earp. Chantel Riley portrays Kate in the sci-fi series Wynonna Earp that is currently on TV. I wanted to stop by here and pay my respects to another one of the great figures of the Old West, a woman full of character that left a lasting legacy in Hollywood and in the Old West. Big Nose Kate, rest in peace. And I want to thank all my subscribers for watching this video. If you are not a subscriber and you have watched, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. Please like the video if you did like it. And I do appreciate you taking time from your busy day to watch my videos. I have a lot more adventures ahead. Many things will be filmed in the extreme near future. And thank you, my friends. This is Big Bill Anderson in Prescott, Arizona, saying adios, amigos.